What up? This is Rama Screen, and it's time for another celeb interview. And in the anticipation of What Lies Below, which arrives on demand and digital December 4th, I'm here talking with the star of this new movie, Ema Horvath. How are you, Emma?
I'm great. I'm great. A little chilly, uh, snowing here where I am. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
Christmas already, right?
How are you?
Good, good, good. Thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on this movie. I watched it a while back and very much enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that it's a bit of a sci-fi thriller. It's a bit of a paranoia thriller. It's a bit of a erotic thriller. What was your reaction when you first read Braden's script?
Well, it came when I got the email with the audition. It came with like all caps, like read full script. Yeah, it's a real like mixture of themes because it starts out as one kind of movie and then switches to another, and then at the very end, it's like a third type of movie. um, yeah, I never quite read something quite like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it morphs along the way, and I loved it. And so I'm curious, how would you describe your character Liberty? Cool name, by the way, Liberty.
Yeah.
Because as I was watching her, I get the sense that Liberty goes from sexually curious about this hunk of a man, John Smith, to fear and terror, but she doesn't quite know how to respond to that fear and terror. How would you assess Liberty?
Well, she's a little socially stunted, as particularly at the beginning of the movie. Oh, got a little bit of a Peter Pan complex. Just leave my books. I'm fine being a child for as long as possible. And then yeah, with the introduction of John, she suddenly has a really big reason to grow up really really fast. um, yeah, and then the switch from fear, yeah, as first love is never quite perfect, is it? I guess for most people. So. But this is to an extreme level.
You also went through a lot of physically demanding scenes in this film. How much was that your stunt double? How much was that was you? Can you talk a bit about that?
It was all me.
Oh
No stunt doubles
wow!
in this. Yeah. Which I'm quite used to. I come from the world of like shoestring budget genre movies, so I'm kind of used to being fine with being in danger. Mena was actually quite helpful in like reminding me when things weren't too safe or needed to be adjusted. But yeah, it did it all.
No apprehension, no doubt. You're like
Yeah, I
jumping
guess
2 feet.
that part of my brain has been removed. I guess the part that's like, oh, maybe maybe ask some questions first.
That is so cool. Kudos to you, and it looked great on the screen. What was it like working with the popular Mena Suvari? I mean, we always know her best for American Beauty, American Pie movies. There's a scene in What Lies Below where it got really tense between both your characters. So, talk to me about working with her to create that dynamic and your overall experience working with Mena.
Yeah, I was really starstruck when I first met her, if I'm honest. It was the first time I'd been working with someone I'd actually like watched on screen in other movies. And my first time working with someone who's been doing it for so long. So she was really, really helpful. I had done a few movies prior to this, so I had like some sense of how things are normally done, but she was like a real wealth of knowledge, in terms of like this is your job and this is not your job. That was really helpful for me. And yeah, keeping me safe. She was kind of like the union, on set. Because without her, I probably wouldn't have asked any questions about certain things, certain stunts. Yeah, and then working with her was great. I think our dynamic in real life is flipped. For the dynamic in the movie is that the child is kind of the adult and the adult is a bit of a child.
Mm.
But in real life, I think Mena was definitely just like in charge and a force on set. I
And
was
for
just learning. Yeah.
and for that emotionally charged scene, like when she's like slaps your character. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? How was that shooting that?
Oh gosh, it's been a minute, so I can't quite remember. Normally with slaps, I'm like, please just do it, you know.
Oh.
I don't want to have to fake it, you know. Yeah, no, I Mena Suvari can slap me any day.
I think we all can say the same about that, definitely. Here's a fun question for you, because this movie or movies like this got me thinking, if our parents or our friends, let's just say our friends, bring in new boyfriend or new girlfriend, it's natural for us to kind of be suspicious, to see whether or not they turn out to be jerks or whatnot. So, but at the same time, we also want our friends to be happy. So, is there a right or wrong way to go about vetting somebody new that comes into the lives of our friends or people we care about? Or doing a simple background check doesn't hurt, right? I mean, but how far is too far?
Well, I would say if you watch the movie, the first thing not to do is to develop a crush on whoever it is. That's
True.
Probably number one. Yeah, oh gosh, I don't want to give anyone some bad advice, who's watching and then they do something silly.
What would you do?
What would I do? You mean if I was unsure about someone?
Yeah,
or
Google them?
Google them, probably. That'd be the first step. Maybe see the kind of people they hang out with. I think your friends say a lot about you. Yeah. I don't know. It would probably be an intuitive thing with me. I wouldn't feel comfortable being a detective, I think, in most people's lives.
Fair enough. And as I'm winding down, what do you hope the audiences will take away from watching a thriller like What Lies Below?
Be careful who you fall in love with. And then also, it's kind of a fun movie, It's hopefully not too serious. I think it's a great movie for like a really fun night with friends to watch. So I hope it brings some people some laughs and some joy and some scares and unease. Yeah.
And I love the twists and turns in it as well. And finally, Emma, my fans will be angry at me if I don't ask you this. And I'm sure you signed some NDA or something, but what can you tell us or tease us or hint to us about the Lord of the Rings series that you're a part of? Bird's Eye Viewpoint. What can we anticipate?
Yeah. All I can tell you is that I'm so excited, and I feel like the luckiest person ever to be a small part of it. I wish I could tell you more. We're all kind of sworn to secrecy.
But have you finished filming all your scenes, or did the production get halted by the pandemic?
It's been starts and stops. Yeah, starts and stops.
All right, starts and stops it is. We'll have to leave that at that, folks. All right, everybody at home, go check out What Lies Below on digital and demand, December 4th. Emma, thank you for talking to me, and congratulations.
Thanks. Nice to meet you, Rama.